Hello and welcome to the channel. This video will be about authentication using two packages bcryptjs and JSON Web Token. A couple of months ago, I made a video on a note-taking app in the MERN stack. That app was only about doing the cloud operations. There were no features for authentication or privacy. So what we are going to do is that we will take the same app and add authentication to it. But before we start coding, I will first show the fundamental idea behind the code. So here this is basically the blueprint of the web application that we made. Initially we just had the create and the node functionality where we created the node and we displayed the node, and there is a edit and delete operations. The backend only consisted of the Node.js server and the MongoDB database, and there was only one schema for the node, and there is routes for the node of cloud operations. So now what we are going to do, we are going to add two more components. One is a sign up and another will be the sign in. The sign up will contain a form which will post the username, email and password to the server. In the server there will be two new routes for sign in and sign up. The sign up route will hash the password using bcrypt. So what is bcrypt? It is a JavaScript library used for hashing passwords and comparing them. And by hashing hashing is a process used in cryptography and computer science to transform data or arbitrary sizes into fixed size sequence of characters, typically called a hash value or hash code. This is a hash password. If you store the password as plain string and in case the database is hacked, the password will be exposed. So bcrypt provides a layer of security by hashing the password. .hash is a bcrypt function. Request.body is sent by the user and 10 is a number of hash cycles. The sign-in component will send the email and password to the server. In the backend, bcrypt.compare will first hash the incoming password and compare it with the hashed password stored in the database. If the validation is successful, it will send the JSON Web Token as a response. JSON Web Token is an open standard for securely transmitting information between the server and the client in a compact and self-contained format. The token will contain two parameters. The first will be payload, and that will include user ID, and the second is a secret key that is stored in the server. The frontend will receive the token and store it in the local storage. And this is it. Our access to the secured parts of the website depends on the presence or absence of the token in the local server. When we want to log in, we will store the token, and when we want to log out, we will simply clear the local storage. To set up the project, I will clone and install the React Node app from GitHub. I have provided a link in the description. So git clone the link. Now change directory to React Node, that is the front end. Now run npm install to install the packages. Then open another instance of the terminal. Then now change directly to the backend. Again run npm install. Now you might need to run npm audit fix -force. Some of the packages may be duplicated. Now run npm run install and open the PowerShell and run MongoDB, and I hope you have got Mongo installed in the computers. While the application starts, let's create a separate file for the node routes by using the express auto so that the main server file does not become messy, create a folder called routes in the backend directory containing a file called node.js. And now in the node.js file, import express, then router const router is equal to express to router, and also import the node model. Now export the routes. Export this file. Module.export is equal to router. Now go to server.js file and copy the endpoints already created there. These endpoints are for the nodes, okay, not the user. Then paste it in the node.js file and change the app dot to router dot. Now go to server.js file and import the routes. Const nodes is equal to require, that in the routes slash nodes, and app.use nodes. Now go to the front-end terminal and run the React application by npm run start and add the routes to the URL. Now let's check if the endpoints are working properly. Let us create a node for that. So you also have to add the nodes. I will name this endpoint as get nodes. We will also make these changes in the backend point. Also add the delete. Okay, the endpoints are working properly now. Now go to the backend terminal and install bcryptjs and the JSON web token. npm install bcryptjs and now npm install JSON web token. Now go to the components folder in React Node and create two new files, one for the sign in and the other one will be for sign up. Let's import React. Cost sign in. And export default sign in to export the component. Now go to the sign up file, just type in arrayfc Now let's go to the Bootstrap 5 website to grab a form. I will paste this form first in the sign-in component, and again the same form in the sign-up component also. In this, let's change the class keywords to class name, and make the input fields self-closing, input text self-closing. I don't need this. To center it, I will name the class name container. Now let's copy this whole thing again and paste it in the sign up component. In addition to the email address, I will also create a new field for the name, for the username. Now let's go to the home file, and I will import the sign in and the sign up components. Let's display them. Now let's take a look at our browser. Okay, both the sign in and the sign up are visible, but I want only one of the components to be visible at a time. Either a sign in or either a sign up, both. So let's first create a state called visibility, which will by default have a boolean as false, and I will be using the ternary operator here. If the visibility is false, it will by default display the sign-in component. And if the sign up is displayed, and if the user already is registered, then he will click on this link to display the sign in form. Click here to sign in, and click here to sign up. Now I'm going to create a function that will toggle the visibility of the sign in and the sign up. Set visibility. On click, it will change the visibility value from either false to true and vice versa. Let's call the function toggle visibility. On click, and again the same thing here. Oh, sorry, I forgot to import the use state hook. Okay, on click, this is sign up. On click, this is sign in. Okay, it's working now. Now let's go to the sign in file, and change the submit to sign in and do the same in the sign up file also. Now I'm going to import Axios and also the use state hook from React, and create some states. And the first one will be for name, and the second one will be for email, and the last one will be for password. Now let's add the on-change event listener to the input fields. Set name event.target.value. Copy the event listener, paste it in the email input, and this will be set email. The last one will be set password. Now I'm going to add a function, handle submit. This function will collect all the name, email, and password and create an object and send the object by posting it to the servers. So const user object, name, email, and password. For the time for let's see if the front end is working properly. So I will console log the user object. Now let's go to the browser, inspect an event, name, email, and a password. Let's sign up. It have to change the settings to preserve the log. Now let's try it again. Okay, the front end is working. Now I will set up a try catch block. Const result. This function will be asynchronous function, and axios.post. Post it to the backend. Photos and user sign up. I haven't yet created the routes for it. And if I get the result, means if the post is successful, then I will send an alert that the registration is successful. And if there is an error, we'll just write that there is a username. There is already another user with this email. I will change it later on. Let's put it like this for the time being. Now I'm going to import another hook called use navigate hook. From React Router DOM. And I will use this hook to navigate back to the index page after the registration is completed. Now let's create a new file for the user routes. First I will import express, then router from express router, and then I will export it. Module.export is equal to router. Now let's go to the server.js file and import the user route. Require routes user and app.use user. Now before I proceed any further, I will first have to create the model for the mongoose schema for the user. So let's import mongoose and declare a new user schema, mongoose.schema, and this will contain the values for the name, and this will be required true, means it is mandatory to give the name. Let's just copy this and paste it 2 more times, and the next one will be the email, and the last one will be password, and the email will be unique, means it should be unique for every user. And last, I want to create add the date in which the user registered itself. Now let's export the model. First, I will import bcryptjs. Then JSON web token. And then I will import the model. Now let's first create the sign up route. Router post sign up synced request response. First, I will check if the user exists or not. Let user await user.find one. This is a mongoose function. It will check if the email already exists in the database in the user records. If the user exists, then it will send back a error with code 400. Response status 400, JSON, status error, and the error message will be sorry, a user with this email already exists. Now after this, if the user is unique and mongoose does not find any user with this name, we will first hash the password using bcrypt. const hash password with bcrypt dot hash. This is a bcrypt function. It will take the password from the request dot body the password, and 10 is the number of hash cycles. Then I will declare a new instance of the user model user.create, and this will contain the name from the request body and email. These two are sent from the front end, the name and the email. But the password is the hash password provided by bcrypt. Now I have to set up the catch block. Catch error. Response status 500. JSON. Status error. The error message is internal server error. Then I have to return response JSON the new user. I will also console of the new user. Now let's see if it's working or not. email.com and password, sign up. I don't think it's working. Let's check it. I will use a extension called Thunder Client. It is similar to Postman. This will be helpful in looking if the backend is working properly or not. I will just paste in the routes and the post. Also, I will send the name and the email and the password. The password will be same as the name. Let's send it. Okay, it is giving an error. So there is something wrong in the backend. Yeah, the hash password, the spelling was wrong. Let's try it again. Okay, the status is okay this time, and the record is created in the database. Okay, now let's try it from the front end. I will create another user, Bravo email.com, and password is Bravo. Sign up. It's been successful. Okay, the sign up is working properly. Now let's create a JWT token. JWT.sign in. It will contain a payload. The payload will contain the name of the new user and the email and the ID. The ID is the ID given by the MongoDB, MongoDB database to the user, and it will also contain a JWT secret. Actually, this shouldn't be saved in the server.js file, a different file should be created for it. It is more secure that way. And I will also send the token here along with the JSON response JSON. Now let's go to the sign up. Now I will change the error message. If the response status is 400 in the error, then the user with only this email is already going to be displayed. But if the response status is 500, then it will display this internet server error. Let's try the error message. I will try to create another user as the same user again. Okay, sorry user with this email already please. Okay, the error messages are working. Now let's go to the sign in file, and similarly similar to the sign up, import Axios first and use state. Then I will create the states for the email and the password. And I will add the on-click event listeners, on-change event listeners to the input fields. First one will be set email. And the next one will be set password. Below email, it will be required, and same also. And this one will also be required. Now I will also create the handle submit function here. This will send the email and the password, means post the email and the password using Axios to the backend. The cons result equal to await Axios.post and the endpoint localhost 4000, the route user and sign in, which is yet to be created, and the email and the password. And cons data await dot result dot data. This data will be sent from the front end, from the back end, along with the response. So look the data error. So look the error. Now let's go to the backend and create the endpoint for sign in. Router.post seeing request response. I will use the email to find the user first to check if the user exists or not. If there is no user, then I will send return a response to the error status. Sharing a user with this a user does not exist. Now, if the user exists, bcrypt will validate the passwords by comparing them. So what bcrypt will do, bcrypt has a inbuilt function called bcrypt.compare. What it does is it will first take the password that is sent now at this moment and first hash it, and that hash password will be compared with the hash password stored in the database. So first it will hash the password from request.what is the password, then it will compare the user the password from the database. And if the validation is successful, it will send a JWT token. Can await JWT.sign, and this time it will only create the ID of the user as his payload and a JWT secret phrase. Return response JSON, the user and the token. Yes, it will send a error. Login unsuccessful. Status code 500. Now let's go to the Thunder client, and it should be sign in. I will remove the name and just send OK. It sends the token and the user details that is it on a Mongoose database, but there is a problem. It also sends the password that is stored in the database. I don't want to send a password. So now what we are going to do, we are going to take the token. Now let's check it from the front end if everything is working or not. Let's try it again. Let's set up a console log request to see if the backend is receiving anything on the front end. Sign in. Okay, we are getting the token. So it is, the sign in is working. let's remove the console log. The data contains two parts. One is the token and another one is the user information. Sent from the server. And we are going to save both of them to the local storage. So if there is data dot token local storage set item token data dot token. Similarly, set item as user, and this time I will have to first convert to stringify the JSON and alert signing successful. Else I will send please check email and password. Now let's try it again. Okay, signing successful. Go to the applications tab to the local storage. Here there is the token and here's the user. Now I don't want to send the password as I've already said. So this time I will not send the user, but I will declare another variable called user info. But this won't contain the password. No, the dot select within comma minus per. So it's a mongoose function. And along with the JSON, I will just send the user info. Here also I have to send it to user info. And I will copy the error messages from sign up and paste it here. Does not exist. Sign in field. Now first I will clear the local storage and go to console, local storage dot clear. Okay, now let's check it again. Application. Okay, the local storage is clear now. Now let's sign in again. Okay, signing successful, and this time it does not contain the password. Now I'm going to make certain changes to the navbar. In the navbar, I do not want the links for the create and the nodes to appear when we are not logged in. They should appear when we are only logged in. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to the nav component. Then I am going to check if the token is available in the local storage. If the token is available, then it will display the links for the create and the nodes. If not, it won't be displayed. So I will retrieve the token on the local storage and also the user informations. Then I am going to use navigate. Also I will create the sign out button. The sign out button will simply clear the local storage and it will be locked out. After logging out, I will navigate back to the index page. I will use a ternary operator here. First I will check if the auth is there, means the token is present. I will create another navbar here, but this navbar, but both the navbars will be different. One will contain only the logo, and the other navbar will contain the links and the logger button, and it will also display the name of the user who will log in. I'm going to remove this. I don't need this here. Okay, this will be displayed by default if when we are not logged in. In the first one, I am going to display the name of the user along near the sign out button. This is JSON dot parse the user dot name. Let's keep some space at the top. Okay, I also need some space near the sign out button, some margin. So next 3. Okay, it's better now. Now let's sign out. Okay, I've logged out successfully. If you go to the address bar of the browser and type in notes, you can see that notes are still available, and also the create form, even though the links are not available in the navbar. So in order to work around this problem, we have to set up conditional routing in our React router DOM. So we have to go to app.js file, and similarly here also we are going to first check if the local storage contains the token or not. If the token is not present, then the routes will take us back to the index page. So first let's check, let's retype the token. Now go to the element, and or again we are going to use the ternary operator here. If auth is present, then this will directly open to the node space, and similarly for the nodes, if the auth is not present, it will take us back to the home base. And same thing for the create also. Now let's check it again. Okay, it's working now. Let's log into our application now. Okay, sign out and log in using another username. You can see the same nodes are available for both the users, but I want to display the user nodes created by a specific user in order to maintain the privacy of the nodes. So for that I am going to use a middleware. Let's go to the backend and create a folder called config. Inside it I will create a file called fetcher.js. This fetcher is a middleware that uses JSON web token. middleware that is used for validating and decoding the JSON web token that will be included in the request header sent from the front end. So first let's import JSON web token. Then I will assign a secret, JWT secret. Now the fetcher function is the middleware function that takes three parameters: request, response, and next. It is intended to be used in middleware. Inside the fetcher function, the auth token header value is extracted from the incoming request using request.header auth token, and if no token is provided, a middleware response with 401 unauthorized status code and an error message indicating that a token is required will be sent to the front end. Will be sent as a response. Now let's set up a try catch block. If the token is present, the JSON web token will verify its authenticity and decode its content, and its content being the user ID. If the verification is successful, the user ID will be stored in a variable called data. The request user property is then assigned to data obtained from the decoded token. Now let's export the middleware. Let's go to the nodes model, and I'm going to create a new field here called user. This field will store the user ID of the user that has created the node. So mongoose.schema.types.object ID is a specific data type provided by the mongoose for storing MongoDB's unique identification, and ref user creates a link between the two schemas, the node schema and the user schema. Now let's go to the node.js and import the fetcher middleware. The fetcher will take the request header from the front end, and from it will retrieve the user ID. This user ID I am going to store in the node. And I'm going to send the status 200 and message node saved. Initially, the get nodes endpoint displayed all the nodes stored in the database, but this time I am going to display only the nodes that will have the user ID that will provided by the fetcher retrieved from the token. So I am going to set everything inside a try catch block. I will remove all of this. And const nodes await. This will be asynchronous. Node.find by this will find the nodes by the user IDs. This will find the nodes specific to the user. And as a response, I will send the nodes as JSON. And if there is any error, the response to status will be 500, and I will send an error message. cannot fetch nodes. Now, the create should also be a synchronous function. Now let's go to the create component in the front end, and in this executions.post along with the node object, I will also have to send the header that will contain the auth token or the token stored in the local storage. The content type is JSON, and the header, the auth token will be typed on the local storage to get item token. Now let's delete all the previous nodes that are stored in the database. Reload this, sign out, then I will log in again. Now I will create a new node. Submit. The node is saved in the backend. Okay. It contains a user ID now. Similarly, in the nodes folder, means nodes component, I'm going to send the header again. I will just copy it from the create component and paste it here. Okay, the node is been displayed. Now let's sign out and log in using the other username. Let's create a node again. Okay. Now it's time for the edit and delete. Just set the fetcher to the edit endpoint. Delete is working. Now go to the edit endpoint in the front end, and here I also have to add the header. Before that, let's add the error catch. Go to the nodes component and copy the header from here and paste it in the edit component. Save it. Again in the edit component, I have to set up the value as node in the text area. Save it. Okay, it is everything is displayed here. Now make some edit here. A new node updated and submitted. Check out the nodes. Okay, sign out. Everything seems to be working okay. I hope you like this video, and I will see you on the next one.